Hey, man, who's that cat coming down the street?
I don't know, but it sounds to me like that whipping man with the bone.
Sure having himself a ball.
Welcome to International Basketball. Tonight from Beaton Park Basketball Stadium, the second test, Australia versus the United States of America. Our commentators at Beaton Park are Win TV sports editor Ron Ross and John Trevelyan-Scott.
What a great night this is for basketball, and particularly the fans of the Illawarra Hawks at Beaton Park Basketball Stadium. Hawks, of course, not in attendance, but there they are, the team from the United States of America, tonight clashing in the second test against Australia. The American lineup: Michael Jackson, Marvin Delph, Tim Hall, Brad Hoffman, Derek Jackson, Larry Johnson, Irvin Kiffin, Eugene Parker, Tom Schneeberger, Wayne Smith, and Ernest Wansley, their coach, Bill Oates. And this team en route, of course, to the World Cup in Manila. The Australian team, they were just a moment ago led on by the Illawarra Hawks representative for Australia, Gordy McLeod, at their lineup: Mel Dalglish, Gordon McLeod, Philip Smythe, Larry Sengstock, Tony Forbes, Andrus Blisavs, John Maddock, Les Riddle, Danny Mawson, Peter Walsh, Rick Hodges, and Steve Gray, and their coach Lindsay Gaze. And on Friday week they too depart for Manila. But tonight it's the second test from Beaton Park, Australia versus USA, and we'll be back for the action in just a moment. First lineup for Australia: number 6, Philip Smythe; number 8, Tony Forbes; 9, Andrus Blisavs; 13, Peter Walsh; and 15, Steve Gray. For America, 9 is Tim Hall; 4, Brad Hoffman; 5, Derek Jackson; 14, Ernest Wansley, and I'll pick up the other one as we go along. It all looked like it might have been out of court, but Blisavs gets it away to Tony Forbes, and it's across now to Blisavs. Fumbled under the bucket, and it's still an Australian ball coming in from Steve Gray. Irvin Kiffin was the American that I missed, number 15, Irvin Kiffin. Australia in possession, running left to right. Blisavs. Australia, of course, in the green and gold. The Americans in a combination that appears on court to be red, white and black, but no doubt in the world it's red, white and blue, John.
That's right, yes. They're extending a lot of pressure here against. Just call it back over there. Play there at number 14 for the American team. Ernest Wansley forced the player, Australian player, back in the back court.
Well, now we get a chance to look at the Americans for the first time on the attack. It's lobbed over the top to the long, lanky Irvin Kiffin under the bucket, but the rebound is away to the Australian Peter Walsh. And now down court goes Blisavs, who's in everything. Stumbled by Gray, but gives it back to Blisavs. Australia pressed the Americans in the first test. They went down by a narrow number of points. The Americans just failing to top the ton as the shot goes up by Philip Smythe. The bucket scores, the foul called against Derek Jackson. And to the free throw line, Philip Smythe for Australia. The bonus shot is good. In from the back from Kiffin. A long pass, a set play down into the corner, but it's back now with Brad Hoffman. Over to Hall, Tim Hall, back to Hoffman. Jackson now, back to Hoffman. Then Irvin Kiffin swerves, takes the shot. It's up. The rebound is away again to Peter Walsh. His second rebound for the match, and away now to the scorer, Philip Smythe for Australia, the tiny guard. His pass away to Stephen Gray. Quick hands over to Smythe in the corner. Up for the shot, and a successful one to Andrus Blisavs. Americans break very quickly. Hoffman bounces the pass away to Hall, takes it from the corner, puts it up off the side of the backboard, and scores the first points of the night for the United States. Australia 5, United States of America 2. It's Philip Smythe over to Blisavs. Blisavs Back with the pass to Forbes, who takes the long shot and spectacularly puts it through for the bucket. America back very quickly. Hoffman, neat hands as Hoffman gets it away to Kiffin, back to Hoffman. Now it's with Hall, back to Hoffman again. He blocks for Hoffman, who takes the shot. It's off the side of the bucket. Walsh the rebound and the pass away to Steve Gray for Australia. Smythe now in the corner, works it across to Bleesavs, who takes another sensational long shot. Hoffman in, almost blocked, but the foul call against Smythe, who went for the steal.
Bleesavs is probably the Australians' finest shooter. He's capable of scoring 40, 50 points a game. So there's one play the Americans are going to have to watch.
Hoffman now for the United States of America. They're looking at a 9-2 deficit. Ennis Wansley was blocked but got the pass away to Jackson. Derek Jackson off to Hoffman. Hoffman a long pass under the bucket, neatly placed away to Evan Kiffin, who put it through unmarked. Now a long pass to Philip Smythe, who was almost blocked by Hoffman, but Philip Smythe for Australia works it up over the halfway. Gets his pass back to Bleekabs, and away it goes now to number 8, that's Tony Forbes, who scores from the side. And Australia looking good in the early stages of the match. 17 minutes to go in the first half. Australia 11, United States 4. America from the side. Hoffman to bring it in, number 4. With Kiffin, back to Hoffman. Now to Jackson, to Hall. Hall's going for the shot. And they're shooting from wide out, the Americans. Smythe flicks it in, but it's away to the Americans. Hoffman takes the shot now, puts it up, it's off the side of the bucket. Kiffin under the basket, has it knocked away by Walsh, a clean knock away. But again, it'll be America in from the side. Walsh proving invaluable under the bucket for the Australians.
He's a big man, 7'1", and of course his arms are add an extra couple of feet to that height.
Derek Jackson for the United States of America puts the ball up and puts it in. Walsh was going to bring it in quickly there, but the Australian players were blocked with a full court pressure by the Americans. It's away now with Tony Forbes. Forbes gets it back to Bleesavs. To Smythe for Australia. Hoffman trails him as Smythe goes up under the bucket, puts it up, but is unsuccessful. Foul called against number 15 for the United States, Evan Kiffin. Australia certainly putting away some spectacular shots in the early stages of the second test.
Phil Smythe is from South Australia. The last 2 years he's won the best South Australian player, 2 years in concession.
Well, he's made a successful 2 to take Australia on to 13-6, and it's Derek Jackson now. Takes the shot for the United States, puts it up, it's not in, but the rebound comes away to the Americans, and it was Tim Hall who put it through. 13-8 now in favour of Australia. Tapped away by Bleesavs. Into the corner, he's going through unguarded and puts it in with a backhand shot. Andrews Bleesavs really on target tonight. Australia 15, the United States 8. Brad Hoffman for America. Kiffin gets it away and under the bucket. Who's that? A very small player, but it's away to Tim Hall. And the small player was the guard, Brad Hoffman. But the bucket scored by Hall. America defending now as Australians bring it back. Andrews Bleesavs away to Smythe. Smythe is blocked by Hoffman. He's got to send it way back to Forbes. Now it's back with Smythe. Across now to Stephen Gray, who puts it up and scores.
Oh, fine shooting by Australia. I think I've seen them miss a shot at this stage of the match.
Tim Hall for the United States as they come on the attack very quickly. Ernest Wansley, the tall player, off to Derek Jackson, number 5. Wansley, Hoffman takes the shot from wide out, off the side of the bucket. The Australians flew for the rebound. It's an Australian ball from the side into Smythe. He throws a long pass down into the corner to Gray. Gray blocked there by Kiffin. It's back with Gray. Australians running around trying to get support. Andrews Bleesavs now blocked out there by Derek Jackson, forced to take the shot. The rebound is away to Tony Forbes, who puts it up again and puts it through. Australia 19, the United States 10. Derek Jackson, his pass into Tim Hall. America running right to left. Hoffman back to Hall. Hall takes the shot from wide out. It's off the side of the bucket. Taken there by Steve Gray. Gets the pass away quickly to Smythe. The Australians trailing down quickly. He lobs a pass over the top to Bleesavs. It's out of court. America from the side. And there's going to be a series of substitutions here, and let's see who's coming on. Number 7, Marvin Delf coming on for the United States of America. Also number 6 is Eugene Parker. Gordy McLeod's on for the Australians, number 5. Gordy McLeod blocking Brad Kaufman as he comes up to halfway, and he's patting his backside as he goes down. The pass is away to the new player Marvin Delf. Back it goes to Hoffman. And Gordy McLeod paws his chest, lucky to get away without a foul as the ball goes up by the Americans. Put through by Ernest Wansley. New player on the court for Australia, Les Riddle, gets it away to McLeod. McLeod very keen to impress tonight on his home court. Riddle for Australia, number 11. Blocked out there by Eugene Parker. Gets it back to McLeod. McLeod calling support out. Gets his pass away to Tony Forbes. It's off now with Stephen Gray. They've got a shoot suit, but the pass went straight to the American player, Ernest Wansley. It's away now with number 6, and that's Eugene Parker, whose passes away quickly, and there's a sandwich play. That bucket scores. It went through from Marvin Delf, and he'll have a bonus shot from the line.
Number 13.
Peter Walsh.
Peter Walsh, yes.
Substitution for the United States is number 12 coming on, Michael Jackson. And Brad Hoffman it was who went off. No mistakes by Marvin Delf, who puts it through, and it's 19-15. Gordy McLeod for Australia. Tony Forbes now. And the Americans starting to become physical on the court,
yes,
John.
Yeah, off the ball as well. And there's a lot of pushing there. Number 12 there, pushing McLeod.
Shot taken there by Riddle, but the rebound is away to the Americans. Michael Jackson, over it goes to number 9, that's Tim Hall, who takes the shot, and the Americans very quickly narrowing the gap. Australia have not scored for about 2 or 3 minutes. Gordy McLeod.
A lot of pushing there.
Stephen Gray in possession, but the pushing called against Michael
12.
Jackson.
Yeah, Michael Jackson. He's pushing a lot off the ball, Jackson.
Larry Sengstock for Australia now, going to bring it from the side. New player on the court. Walsh for Australia. Gordon McLeod. Tony Forbes. Away to Riddle. Call against Gordon McLeod, the call there, and it'll be Tim Hall in from the side, gives it into Eugene Parker, who meets Gordy McLeod, waiting for him, and Gordy McLeod goes for another steal. Foul call against
number 6, yeah.
Eugene Parker,
yeah.
The USA.
Didn't like having the ball stolen off him by McLeod.
Want to get used to it. Riddle. Forbes. McLeod. McLeod going towards the centre court. He's blocked there, but gets the pass away, and it's a successful shot for Tony Forbes for Australia. 21-17, the Australians.
That's an unusual shot that Forbes has there, but it's very accurate. He hasn't missed one as yet.
Michael Jackson now for United States of America in the second test. Australia versus USA, coming to you through Win TV from Beaton Park Basketball Stadium in Wollongong. Pushing charge against one of the Australians. It looked like Les Riddle, number 11.
Was, yes.
And it'll be number 12. Michael Jackson coming to the free throw line, but coming on court, Wayne Smith, number 8 for America, and number 14 for Australia, Rick Hodges. And there's a good shot of both the substitutions. Another one coming on by the look for Australia, Danny Mawson, number 12. But while all that was going on, Lindsay Gaze had decided to call a halt to proceedings, and so in the second test, Australia versus the United States, it's Australia 21, United States 17, and at Beaton Park, it's timeout. Michael Jackson at the free throw line after the timeout. He's missed it.
Right, it's 2 shots. It's 2 shots.
21-17 in favour of the Australians. It moves along now to 21-18. 11:51 remaining in the first half. And a successful shot there by Jackson. Australia brings it into Gordy McLeod. And McLeod, neat hands. Jets his pass away, and it's over with Riddle. Blocked away, though, quickly by Irvin Kippen, and the Americans make a fast break. The Australians up for the intercept. It was Les Riddle who got it. Now it's away with Gordy McLeod. Takes the shot from a long way out. A little bit closer to the bucket, I thought. The Americans in possession, but Australia steal again. It's away with Rick Hodges. Back to Gordy McLeod. Now with Les Riddle. Across now to Larry Sengstock. Under the bucket. A fine basket for Australia. Scored by Rick Hodges, but good teamwork. The Americans having things all their own way. A protest from the Australian bench as the Americans start to pressure under the bucket. The shot's up, but it's not in. Out of court. Australian ball. In from McLeod, into Riddle, back to McLeod. Eugene Parker trying to pester McLeod, but he gets his pass away to Sengstock. Now it's with Riddle, and it's across now to Mawson for Australia. Puts it in, but it comes out. Up goes the shot again. And again, it's Rick Hodges successful for Australia. McLeod trying to hustle the Americans. The pass is away to number 7 for the States, Marvin Delph. Now with Kiffen. Across to number 12, Michael Jackson, who puts it up, and it's in. Australia 25, the United States 21. Gordy McLeod from Wollongong in possession for Australia. Gets it out to Riddle. Then into the corner it goes to Mawson. Mawson back to Riddle. Over to McLeod. McLeod blocked. Retreats. His passes away to Sengstock. Knocked out of court, but it's Australian ball. It was knocked out of court by Irvin Kiffen of the United States. Coming in from the side off Larry Sengstock. To McLeod, who positioned himself beautifully. Beautifully placed, McLeod. Australia 27, the United States 21. Action-packed excitement from Beaton Park. It's with the big man, Irvin Kiffen. Now it's over. And the United States in possession. Delph takes the shot and puts it neatly through. Marvin Delph, quick hands for Australia, down to Sengstock. Ball uses the elbow to push him away, but it's with Gordon McLeod now. In the corner to Mawson. An intercept by the United States, but regained. And it is now with Riddle who puts it up and scores.
Australia looking good since the timeout.
And another steal by Australia. Riddle under the bucket. Foul called.
Yes, bad defense by the American there.
Foul called against Eugene Parker.
Les Riddle attempt to make 2 points from the free throw line.
And Brad Hoffman coming back on for the United States of America.
And just quickly noticing Hoffman, I noticed he's probably their best playmaker.
I see over on the bench Ernest Wormsley getting ready to come back on for the States as the shot by Riddle is unsuccessful. 29 Australia, 23 the United States. Australia up to 30. 9 minutes 23 on the clock, remaining for the first half. That's 31 Australia, the United States 23. Brad Hoffman with it for the Americans. Beats McLeod, but gets the pass away. And a dummy thrown neatly there by Wayne Smith. American ball. And Wormsley coming on, is it, for the United States of America, number 14. Ernest Wormsley, all 6'11" of him. On court, and already he's elbowing and shouldering his way through the ruck. Hoffman to bring it in from the side. It's with Eugene Parker. The pass is away to Hoffman, and the rebound away to Australia. It's out to Gordy McLeod. He's rapidly down court. McLeod in the corner gets his pass away, and it's Rick Hodges who puts it up.
Got the foul. Foul. Number 6, Eugene Parker again.
Hodges coming to the free throw line for Australia. Yes. The Australians move it along now to Australia 32, the United States 23 in the second test. America having won the first test at Newcastle on Wednesday night.
This is a very handy lead to have at this stage of the game with 8:57 to go on the clock in the first half. coming up to a 10-point lead if Hodges makes the shot.
He's missed it. The rebound is knocked out of court by one of the Australians. That was Sengstock coming in from the side for the Americans. Into Brad Hoffman. He's immediately met by Gordy McLeod. Wayne Smith to Parker. Then it's with Delft. Back to Parker. Now with Hoffman. Knocked away by the Sengstock for Australia, but he throws a beautiful pass into the Americans. Under the bucket was number 8. Wayne Smith gratefully took the bucket. Now it's Australia in possession again. Gordy McLeod. 32-25. Australia in front. Riddle over to McLeod. Forced the foul on Brad Hoffman. Number 4 for America. Not happy with the call, but it's a foul nevertheless. Australia 32, the United States 25. Sengstock to bring it in from the side for the Australians. McLeod once again trying to free himself from the ruck. He can't do that. Hoffman stuck to him like glue. Now it's McLeod in possession. Regains a fumble, gets the pass away to Danny Mawson. A rear end defence there by McLeod across to Sengstock. Now it's with Les Riddle for Australia. Foul. Foul called there on one of the Americans. It was
Parker again.
Parker. He's really climbed up.
He's climbed up.
And now a substitution. Derek
He's actually
Jackson.
on 4 fouls.
He subbed off Parker, and number 5, Derek Jackson, on. And Sengstock will bring it in from the side for the Australians. Gordy McLeod, quick hands to Mawson. Mawson across to Riddle. Now it's with Sengstock. Tall fellow, robust man, Sengstock. It's over with McLeod. McLeod frees himself from groping hands, takes the shot. Sengstock the rebound, tries to turn, gets it up finally, puts it up and in. Good play, Sengstock. I like the look of that man. And Sengstock takes the steal with the foul call against Gordy McLeod. And to the free throw line come the Americans. Now it's going to be from the side. Number 9 coming on for the United States is Tim Hall. Brad Hoffman from the side. Australia 34, the United States 25. 7 minutes 40 remaining on the clock until half-time. It's with Hall. Now with Hoffman. Ernest Walmsley and back to Hoffman. Hoffman blocked there by McLeod, and McLeod hassling him. Gets his pass away to Hall. That's with Walmsley. Walmsley gets it away. It's knocked away by Sengstock. Americans retrieved. Wayne Smith it was. Tim Hall now, number 9, going under the bucket. He's blocked away, but foul called. The block was made by Rick Hodges, but the foul called on Sengstock. And it'll be Hall coming to the free throw line. Coming on for Australia now. A substitution, number 9, Andrus Blissabs. And Blissabs really inspired the opening burst by the Australians. It will be interesting to see what influence he has on this match between now and half-time. Successful shot by Tim Hall for the United States. Australia 34, United States 26. It's 7 points the difference now as the Americans move it on to 27. Australia 34. Sengstock gets it into Blissabs. Blissabs down court. Blocked there by Hoffman. Pass away to McLeod, then to Sengstock. Sengstock under the bucket to Blissabs, who's freed himself. It's not going in. The rebound is away.
Basket counts.
Basket counts.
Interference.
Putting a hole in the hoop. The other basket counts for the Australians. And it was a big, tall, lanky Tim Hall who blocked the progress of the ball going through the bucket. Hoffman for the United States. Again, McLeod does the hustle. Shot taken now from wide out for the Americans by Wayne Smith. It's not successful, but the rebound's in. Australia in possession. Gordon McLeod. Blissabs. To Mawson. Sengstock. Hodges. Back to Blissabs. Now to Sengstock. Oh, and into no man's land with the pass. I think Sengstock expected Blissabs to be coming through there at 100 mile an hour. He couldn't make it on time. But it's going to be an Australian ball from the side, and there's a substitution for the Australians. Number 8, Tony Forbes, back on court. And Lindsay Gaze having a talk to Sengstock on the side. It's Sengstock going to bring it in.
Also going out.
Blissabs for Australia. Back to McLeod. Then it's with Sengstock. Over to Forbes. Forbes throws the long one right under the bucket, and it's a good one for Rick Hodges of Australia, 38-29. Australia lead with Brad Hoffman now. Wayne Smith back to Hoffman. Oh, knocked away from Tim Hall, but he regathered. It's with Brad Hoffman. He's met there by Gordon McLeod. Gets his pass away, and it's fumble pass out of court by Wayne Smith. In by the Australians to Gordon McLeod. McLeod. Oh, Brad Hoffman came over the top. McLeod got the pass away just in time. It's with Blisevs for Australia. Plenty of pressure on by the Americans now as the pass comes into Forbes. With Blisevs, now it's knocked away and knocked out of court by the Americans. Australia in from the side. Smythe coming on for Australia. Philip Smythe, Gordon McLeod subbed off.
Didn't do any damage to himself. He played quite well when he's on the court, hustled well on defence. Made a couple of points.
Now it's Australia in possession. Forbes to Smythe, and a rocket-like pass right away to Blisevs. Good play, and it's the Americans now. Derek Jackson to Hoffman. Tim Hall for the United States. Gets it back to Jackson. Wayne Smith gets the pass away to Hall, and Hall puts it through. Australia 40, United States 31. Sengstock for Australia. Gets it over to Smythe. Then it's away to Blisevs, and Blisevs is shouldered by Hoffman. And he's still going through Blisevs. Well, I thought he was going to have to piggyback Ernest Wansley to get under the bucket, but he got there. And now the Americans, Wayne Smith gets it off to Ernest Wansley. Wansley's up and puts it through. And there's an American hurt in backcourt. Wayne Smith holding his head. But Australian on the attack. Philip Smythe. A couple of substitutions ready on the side too. It's with Blisevs for Australia. And he's a likely looking customer, Andrus Blisevs, for the Australians. It'll be an Australian ball from the side, but substitutions coming in. Number 15 for the Americans is Irvin Kiffin. And number 13 for Australia, Peter Walsh. Australia from the side, Sengstock.
Australia still managed to get that 9-point lead. Hopefully they'll keep it going for the next 4.5 minutes in the game.
American ball is, they blocked it away from Blisevs into Hoffman. The bells are ringing, and there's a player coming off for America. Derek Jackson, I didn't see who came on. 1, 2,
Mr. Eugene Parker, yeah, he came back in.
Ah, right.
4 fouls, number 6.
Brad Hoffman. Irvin Kiffin's out there too. Brad Hoffman. There's Kiffin in the corner. Flicks it off one-handed nicely to Wansley. Wansley takes the shot. The rebound's away to Sengstock for Australia. Now it's with Smythe. And the Australians on the boil in the first half. Philip Smythe, and there was a smack in the mouth for one of the players there. Andrus Blisevs and Brad Hoffman in backcourt, shouldering one another.
Started well before that incident.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
And this could become quite physical. Australia 42, United States 33, and it's the second test. An international, and Smythe goes for the steal. He's got it. Can he regain control, Smythe? Tries to one-handed, but blocked away by Kiffin. And that's Australia from the side. There's enough out there to keep the adrenaline flowing, and another sub coming on for the Australians. It's number 15, Stephen Gray, and Sengstock gets great applause as he leaves the court. But it's from Beaton Park with Australia 42, the United States 33. In the second test, it's timeout. Australia in from the side. Hodges into Smythe. Hodges down in the corner to Smythe. Smythe on his own. Puts the elbow into the face of Brad Hoffman, but the rebound's away to Kiffin. And now it's with Hoffman. Hoffman does a beautiful swivel. Gets his pass away to Hall. Under the basket is Ernest Wansley. Couldn't get the pass in. Got it away to Hoffman. Hoffman Blocked there by Smythe, and he lobs the pass, a plan move over the back. And it was Hall who was unsuccessful. Smythe for Australia gets it off now to Blisavs, and Blisavs back to Smythe. It's with Stephen Gray now, number 15. Walsh, Smythe, Stephen Gray. Foul called on Tim Hall of the United States of America. And
10 team fouls for the United States.
well, shouldn't they come from the free throw line in that case?
No, on the 11th.
Oh, right. Forbes trying to get it in for the Australians. It's away to Walsh, but he's knocked it down for the Americans. Tim Hall gets it over to Kiffin, but it's knocked away, pushing against number 8 for Australia, Tony Forbes.
Number 13, just call it against. Yes.
Peter Walsh.
Peter Walsh, yes. That's his second foul.
So Derek Jackson now at the free throw line. Derek Jackson acknowledged the fact that he missed that, and his coach, Bill Oates, is very disturbed over these missed free throws. And he's really got a style, hasn't he? Huh? He should be playing for Australia. He shoots like a kangaroo. Smythe. Forbes for Australia. Australia 42, the United States 34. It's back now with Blisavs. And he shows the Americans the ball. I like this guy. Heaps of aggression, but they've called a jump on him.
5 seconds.
Too long.
Both players holding the ball, 5 seconds. Automatic jump ball.
I like the way he antagonises and gives them a little bit of thing to think about. Hey.
Good try.
You've got to try it, haven't you? They're trying to sneak in the Ernest Worsley, the 6'11" giant of the team, but it's away to Blisavs, away to Walsh, now to Smythe for Australia. Over in the corner to Forbes. Forbes for Australia. To Gray. Gray almost travelled there, but Walsh fires a hard pass. It's loose. Out of court off the Americans. Australia will bring it in from the side. Forbes is over there. And the Americans trying to block the ball in, but it's Peter Walsh for Australia. And plenty of aggression out there as it's now Tony Forbes for the Australians. Over to Blisavs. Passes away to Stephen Gray. And a rebound taken for the United States. It's off with Eugene Parker. Tim Hall puts it up and scores for the Americans. Kevin Smythe, I said Philip Smythe. Kevin Smythe will be remembered as a rugby league player with Collegians. Philip Smythe. Blisavs now off the back of the bucket. The rebound away to Kiffin. Now it's with Brad Hoffman. Fielded the loose ball. Eugene Parker for the United States. Brad Hoffman for America now. Over to Tim Hall. Brad Hoffman. Kiffin. Kiffin turns, takes the shot. Can't put it in. It's knocked away. Picked up for Australia by Stephen Gray. Smythe for the Australians now. 42-36 Australia. 1:24 on the clock. Australia look like they'll be going in at half-time with a lead of 6 points.
They'd like to score in this situation now.
Smythe. Gray for Australia. Can he put it in? No. The shooting has been off target in the last 2 minutes. And the Americans could narrow the gap here as Tim Hall puts it up. Blocked away by Peter Walsh.
Stops the foul, though.
And a foul against the Australian.
His third foul. Very good. The United States can come within 4 points here.
Tim Hall at the line. So not as comfortable a margin as it was a couple of minutes ago. 42-38. 1 minute on the clock. The Australians would love a basket before the break. Smythe. For the Australians, Smythe blocked there by Hoffman, tries to clear it, gets it to Blisavs. Blisavs passes away to Forbes, who puts it up. It's knocked away by the Americans. Foul called. Foul called on number 15, Irvin Kiffin. And Tony Forbes coming to the line for the Australians. That's a good one. And Gordy McLeod from the bench. All right.
Trying to give some spirit to the team to finish on top in the first half.
Yeah. Australia 44, the United States 38. 45 seconds on the clock. The Americans coming back quickly to Brad Hoffman. Brad Hoffman gets it away to Hall. Hall back to Parker. He fumbled it, but Kiffin, oh, beautiful blind pass to Parker, who puts it straight through the hole. Walsh gets it back into play very quickly to Smythe. The defence was down very quickly. Hall trailed him down. Stephen Gray over to Walsh. 20 seconds on the clock. Over to Smythe. Smythe blocked by Hoffman. Gets up the shot. Puts it in and scores. And the bucket scores. And Smythe will come to the line for a bonus shot. Australia 46, the United States 40. 15 seconds on the clock. And they may get their 7-point half-time lead.
Yes, there's still 15 seconds, of course. There's time for the Americans to come down and score again.
Yes, 47-40. The Americans very quickly back into play. Brad Hoffman. 10 seconds. Hall. Parker.
It's the shot.
Big shot and a good shot by Anna Swansley. Right on the half-time siren. And at half-time in the second test, Australia versus the United States. Australia 47, United States 42. In the second half with the scoreboard in the second test, Australia 47, the United States of America 42, Australia in possession. Steve Gray, number 15 for the Australians. Away to Smythe. Smythe forced to dribble. Got it away to Forbes. Now to Walsh.
3 seconds.
Counters on the Australians. Blisovs for Australia. Takes the shot. It's too big. Away to the Americans. Eugene Parker for the United States off to Hoffman. Hoffman fires a quick pass to Wansley, and Wansley scores. Opens the scoring for the second half, the Australians. Now in possession, the Australians. The Americans 44 points. Australia 47. Smythe. Now it's with Walsh for Australia. It's too big for Smythe to handle. It goes out of court. The Americans coming back in the second test match from Beaton Park. Hoffman fires a long pass under the bucket to Tim Hall. He makes no mistake, and Tim Hall scores. He scored 18 points in the first half for the Americans. His aggregate for the match so far 20. Top scorer for the Australians, number 9, Andrus Blisovs with 12, and number 8, Tony Forbes with 10. It's Tony Forbes with it now for the Australians. Over in the corner to Smythe. Smythe puts it up off the side of the bucket. The rebound should have been Australia's, but it's with Brett Hoffman of the USA. Eugene Parker from a long way out. It's the back of the bucket. Smythe gets it for the Australians, and they rally onto the attack. Australia 47, the United States 46. Forbes back to Smythe, who takes the shot off the side of the bucket, and Tim Hall fires away to Hoffman for the USA. Hoffman flicks it off to Wansley. He puts it up. Not successful. It's away now with Smythe. Australia in possession. The green and gold on the attack. Gray. One hands the looping hook and scores for Australia. Hoffman away for USA. The pace is a cracker. Hoffman off to the corner. Returned pass to Hoffman from Kiffin. Now it's with Wansley, the tall man. Gets it back to Parker, who fires. Walsh is going for the rebound. Smythe gets it for the Australians. Flicks it off to Blisovs.
Nice hands there by Phil Smythe.
Smythe now with it, number 6. Over to Blisovs. Quickly to
He's
back
open.
to Smythe. Gray.
Stephen Gray.
The rebound away with Hall. Out now to Parker. Now with Hoffman. Hoffman has it dumped out of his hands by Gray. A quick one to Blisovs for Australia. Puts it up and scores. 51, the USA 46. USA in possession. Ball back to Hoffman. Hoffman the shot. The rebound. Away to America. Blisav's almost grabbed it. And Lindsay Gave indicated the signal for the referee. But substitutions for Australia. Rick Hodges, number 14, coming on. And number 11, Les Riddle, on there for the Australians as well.
Interesting, I noticed Gage has taken blinkers off too.
Hard to fathom.
Yes, hard to follow.
Smythe for Australia. Australia 51-46. I'll make a note of that. Foul called against Ernest Wansley of the USA. Those substitutions made, we'll take note. With Australia 51, the United States 46. And substitutions now for the United States. Martin Delph, number 7, coming on.
And Michael Jackson.
And Michael Jackson, number 12. At the line, number 14 for Australia, Rick Hodge. Moves Australia along at 52. Yeah. 53 Australia, United States 46. Hoffman for the USA. Jackson back to Hoffman, who shoots for a long way out, puts it right through the centre. Australia, Riddle gets it off now to Smythe. Oh, and Smythe dropped the shoulder in, but the pass is away to Gray, and now it's with Riddle.
Oh!
And a collision under the bucket.
Oh, it was more as a stiff arm.
And the players are checking each other out. It's Smythe who's taking a long time to get to his feet. Michael Jackson helps him to his feet, but I missed that under the bucket.
He called it an intentional foul. It was too. It was very intentional. In fact, he should be warned, and if he repeats the action, he should be sent from the court.
Over on the side, Coach Bill H is talking to Jackson as the shot is taken by Smythe. And Jackson coming just into the screen again now as he comes from talking with the coach. Smythe takes another shot. It's off the side of the bucket. The rebound away to America. Hoffman has it. And there's going to be plenty of aggression in this second half as the Americans try and press home. Tim Hall gets it off to Hoffman. Dummies the pass, but gets it off to Wansley. It's under the bucket, knocked out of court. Out of the hands of Marvin Delph. USA from the side. Hoffman into Hall. Hall running around the Australian defence, takes a hook shot. They're up for the rebound. It's away to Wansley. It's back now with Jackson. Jackson takes the shot. And Riddle shaped to throw a haymaker. And Lindsay Gaze from the side, the coach for Australia, just tells Les Riddle to cool it. To the free throw line comes Michael Jackson. This is an international, the second test, Australia versus USA. Australia 54, the United States 48. America through Michael Jackson at the moment at the free throw line. And he's missed with that one. One left. The shot taken by Jackson. That one's in, and it's 54-49. It's into Les Riddle for Australia. And call against Riddle. Hoffman.
Call the play there.
Under the bucket, Wansley puts it up. Goes for the hook. Pushing against one of the Australians. The bucket scores.
Number 15, yes, Steve Gray.
And to the line comes
Hoffman called that play there from out of bounds there.
Wansley at the free throw line. And that call.
Call number 7, Marvin Delph.
Tony Forbes to bring it in for Australia. Into Smythe. Australia 54, the United States 51. Smythe for Australia. Harvard Jackson going after him for the United States. Smythe fires the shot into Riddle. Now it's with Smythe again. Smythe being really hassled there. Over to Forbes, now with Gray for Australia. Gray will be forced to shoot from wide out. It's short. The rebound is away with the Americans. Marvin Delph off to Jackson. Jackson back to Delph. It goes under the bucket, puts it up. The rebound, Hall for America, and he scores. Australia 54, the United States 53. Smythe for Australia. Again, Jackson very vigorous in defence. Over it comes to Tony Forbes. And there's plenty of hand grabbing out there. Smythe takes the shot as an American hits the net. And Australia scores. Hoffman away now for the United States of America. Expect this half to get very physical. A shot by Hoffman is a beauty. And down on the deck goes Rick Hodges for Australia. Australia 56, the United States 55. Remember, the Americans won the first test at Newcastle on Wednesday night. Smythe, down court goes Smythe for Australia. Beautiful basket by the Australian guys.
Good one-on-one there by Phil Smythe. Excellent basket.
Hoffman now for the USA. Australia 58, the USA 55. Hoffman, the sleight of hand pass to Walsley. And a foul against the Australians. To the line comes Worsley, but substitutions for Australia, and the big guns are coming on again. Larry Sengstack is on. Number 12 is Danny Mawson, on for the Australians.
Gordy McLeod.
And Gordy McLeod is on there too for Australia. Lindsay Gaze calling instructions from the sideline.
He should be able to take a lot of pressure off the backcourt, Gordy.
Worsley for America. Makes it 56.
Let's bring it into 1.2 difference.
No, but he's got one more. And he's positioning himself on the line.
Look at the size of his hands on the ball.
Bit of coat tugging going on between Jackson and McLeod in backcourt. Substitution, a few of the spectators getting irate, and a bit of byplay, I think, between Jackson and McLeod. The ball is into Australia. Les Riddle over to McLeod. Jackson calls for the foul. And that brings a reaction from the crowd.
Exactly right. You have to get up early in the morning to catch McLeod.
Riddle and McLeod is really having him on now. Gordy McLeod. He's just about sucked this number 12. Michael Jackson in. Gordon McLeod being pushed and shoved. It's over now with Rick Hodge for Australia. It's with Sengstock. Now with McLeod. McLeod going for the bucket, puts it up. It's away to America. Hoffman. Australia big on defence as Hoffman scores. America hit the front. It's the United States 59. Australia 58. Gordon McLeod for the Australians. A lob pass.
He was there too late.
Brad Hoffman. And here's the substitution that should have, I don't think, ever taken place.
I don't think so either.
Leasabs for Australia coming back on.
Australia's behind. The first time, 59-58.
Well, I think if he hadn't have gone up, we probably would not have been behind. Anyway, Gordy McLeod for Australia. Now it's with Sengstock. And there's elbowing. It's with Leasabs. A lob pass back to Leasabs. It's with Sengstock now for Australia. Sengstock decides to take the shot. To the left it went. Foul called. It's against Sengstock, is it? Number 7.
The time is back.
Foul against the Australians. American ball in from the side. Brad Hoffman, rather, for the USA. Hustled there by McLeod. Over it goes with Jackson. Across now with Hall. Back to Hoffman. Americans a point in front, but Hoffman makes it 3 points. He is magnificently accurate.
He's scoring very well from the outside side.
A clash between McLeod and Hoffman. The pass goes away and McLeod hits the deck. Foul call against Jackson again. The American explaining to McLeod.
He's called a double foul. He's called a foul on 5. He's called a foul on 12. He's called a foul on both players, and he's asked for a jump ball in the centre court.
McLeod, unconcerned about the foul call. He's busy giving instructions. And he's telling them where he's going to put it.
No, he's trying to come back on defense.
Hoffman. McLeod goes to the deck again. We're used to that. Jackson for America. 61-58, the Americans lead. Jackson takes the shot. And the Americans progress off now to 63-58. Gleesons for Australia. 12 minutes, 20 on the clock. Sengstock for Australia. Over to McLeod, who takes the shot from the corner. It's too long, but the rebound is off to the Australian Gleesons. It goes in and out. The crowd roar as the control is too good. Urban Kerfin for America gets it off to Hoffman. Hoffman's greeted by McLeod again. It's off now with number 12. That's Michael Jackson, who puts the shot up, and the basket goes through. Foul of charge of pushing against number 8. No, number 9, Blicavs.
Yeah, there's a timeout being called, and I think Australia need this timeout.
Yes, they certainly do. At the timeout, it's United States 65, Australia 58.
Basketball, Australia versus USA, Reel 2, record on the 21st, replay on the 22nd. Please do not rotate.
Michael Jackson at the free throw line for one bonus shot. And that was a vital period of play for this test match. The Americans really dictated it in that period, John.
Yes, yeah, Australia on top of it was their own fault, I thought. Americans bustled on defence. Australia forced themselves, tried to go one-on-one, played the man instead of the game, and consequently come up with a deficit on the scoreboard.
And it's America in possession now as Jackson fires a long pass. It's stolen by McLeod. Over to Blicavs, and Blicavs puts it up and scores. Takes Australia on to 60 points. The United States 66. And it's a rally like that the Australians are going to require to get back into this test match. 6 points to deficit. It's away with Hall for USA. Over the top of Sengstock he goes. It's flicked away to breaks, but down at Sengstock. Over to McLeod. Down in the corner to Danny Mawson. And the timeout proving invaluable to the Australians.
The crowd getting behind the Australians. Either very vocal in the background.
Shot from a long way out by Kiffin. It's off the back of the bucket. It's over now with Jackson for USA. He's going around Blicavs. It's off now to number 15, and he scores. That's Urban Kiffin. Away now to McLeod for Australia. A very quick break. Jackson down after him. Gets it off to Blicavs, and Blicavs going into the bucket, but blocked there by Hall. Blicavs for Australia. Over to McLeod. McLeod decides to take the shot. It's off the back of the bucket. Rebound away to the Americans, and again McLeod flies. Foul called against number 5 for Australia. McLeod with Marvin Delph on the deck for the USA. 10.5 minutes remaining in the match. Substitutions coming on. Number 8 for the Americans is Wayne Smith.
Calling McLeod on 4 fouls.
Derek Jackson on there for the Americans as well. Derek Jackson gets his pass away to Wayne Smith. Now it's Hall for the Americans. Goes up. Sengstock takes the block. And gets a foul for dropping the thigh into the defence.
It's called on Sandstock. Number 7 for Australia.
Referee Bob Hart indicated the block of the thigh. Hall at the free throw line. Someone in the crowd calls out to Bob Hart, "You're on our side, Bob." There are 2 referees, 1 Australian and 1 American. How they ever let that happen, I'll never know. Hall at the line. He makes it 70 points, 8 points the difference. USA 70, Australia 62. It's into McLeod for Australia. Gordon McLeod tries to get the pass away, but the intercept taken by the Americans. And a quick, long pass down to Kiffin. Kiffin puts it up. The rebounders fly. And again it's Singstock. Number 7 for Australia. Singstock called in the foul. And Kiffin will be going to the line. Now it's from the side.
Yes, I thought it was a poor call on the referee. 15 obviously threw the ball up and tried to regain it off the boards. Crashed into Sandstock.
Stephen Gray coming on for Australia, number 15. Sangstock off. And as John pointed out, Gordy McLeod is on 4 fouls, but it's the Americans in possession. Hall, his passes away to Eugene Parker. Now Kiffin gets it over to Parker. He shoots from wide out. It's off the side of the bucket again. The rebounders fly. McLeod going in there after it, but it's Kiffin who comes away with it. The pass away to Jackson.
They're
and again they're under the bucket. McLeod's got it for the Australians. McLeod for Australia. He's being well and truly hustled, and it's an intercept for the Americans. Ball away now as the pace is a cracker with Wayne Smith. Back it goes to Jackson. Eugene Parker across to Derek Jackson. Then it's across to Wayne Smith. Now Hall goes up for the jump, and Hall puts it through to make it United States 72, Australia 62, as the Americans are starting to exert their authority. 9 minutes remaining on the clock. The ball with Gordy McLeod. Holding foul called against number 15 for the USA, Irvin Kiffin. Substitution.
Gordy McLeod's going off. Phil Smythe coming on.
Smythe coming on for the Australians, number 6.
Gordy is having trouble getting rid of the ball there after using his dribble. And consequently, too, I think the Australians weren't using their footwork and releasing to Gordy to help him out in that situation.
Forbes is on there, number 8 for Australia, and it's with Hodges now for Australia. They're looking at a deficit of 10 points. It's a big margin to pick up against the defence of this American side. It's in with Gray for Australia, but he's fumbled it out of court. American ball. Hall bringing it across to bring it back into play. He does. Eugene Parker for the Americans, very heavily strapped around the knees. And a push out of the way, a push and a shove by Smith. Gets it back to Parker. Now it's with Hall. Wansley puts it up. Brings the back, taken by Gray, the rebound. And it's away now with Glickovs for the Australians. And knocked out of court by Hall. Australia will bring it in from the side. Gray it is. 2 big men over near the line. Hall and Gray, but it's into Forbes. Away with Glickovs. Andrus Glickovs, an outstanding player in the Australian lineup, going up. No, gets it off to Forbes. He puts it up and scores. United States 72, the Australians 64, 8.25 minutes on the clock. Eugene Parker for America now. Over with Derek Jackson, quickly away to Hall. Then it's off to Wansley, then under the bucket. A successful shot taken by Wayne Smith. Australia to bring it in. The United States 74, Australia 64. Smythe for Australia. Knocked away by Jackson, picked up by Smythe though. He retrieved. Hodges for Australia gets it back to Smythe. American coach Bill Oates is on his feet on the bench. Passes away to Hodges. Hodges can't get a shot in. The count is on. Shot taken from away out. And the Americans held Australia out. Could not get a shot in, the Australians. Both coaches on their feet. America back with possession. It's Eugene Parker for the USA. Right under the bucket to Wayne Smith. United States now 76, Australia 64. 7.25 minutes on the clock. Glickovs for Australia. Score at half-time favoured the Australians by 47 to 42. The shot taken by Forbes is off the back of the boards. And away it comes to the Americans. Parker has it knocked out of his hand, stolen by Smythe. Under the bucket. A successful shot for Australia by Rick Hodges.
The American defence is very good. They're forcing an Australian team wider and wider. They can't penetrate, getting there for those easy shots.
Eugene Parker Wayne Smith gets it back to Parker, who takes the shot, and that was Smith under the bucket who pushed it through. Australian possession. Smythe. United States 78, Australia 66. Gray gets it off to Smythe. Forbes now. It rolls free. It's picked up, given to Smythe. Crossed down to Gray. And again the American defence forcing the Australians out wide. Smythe has got to turn, has to shoot, gets it across, and a hook shot taken by Hodges is unsuccessful. The Americans proving masters in the defensive zone. And just pushed in by Paul.
Obviously, this Wayne Smith, number 8 for the American team, is sort of a secret weapon. I haven't seen him on the court until this stage of the game, but he's a very good player.
He's brought their scoring to life, hasn't he?
Yes, he's got good hands, he rebounds well, he jumps like an alligator.
Well, there's a herd of substitutions here. The Americans feeling quite comfortable, I'm sure. Number 7 for the Americans is Marvin Delph on court. We'll pick up the other substitutions as we go. Bleekovs to Gray, then to Forbes, over to Smythe. Smythe away to Bleekovs, going up for the shot. He puts it up and scores, and basket scores.
The Americans are usually really pushing Australia out of this game. Physically and with their own game, offensive game.
Bleekovs at the free throw line for the Australians. 5.5 minutes remaining. And it looks like the Americans will make it 2 from 2. Ernest Wansley for the USA. Smythe now for Australia from the backcourt. And foul against Jackson. Derek Jackson pushing. Australian ball from the side. Gray it is, number 15 to bring it in. Smythe just managed to regain that. Lob pass to Gray, right under the bucket. Can he put it through? No, but the second attempt was also unsuccessful. And then Bleekovs pushed out of the way. And a foul called against Gervin Kiffin of the USA.
Australia can't afford to waste those points underneath the basket there. Steve Gray had 2 attempts there from 2 feet and missed them both.
It's in with Bleekovs for Australia. Now Smythe. Smythe puts it up. It's tapped in for Australia by Walt.
Yes.
Australia 71, the United States 82. The Americans under the bucket, Walsley. But the intercept is taken for Australia by Gray. It's off now with Smythe. Now Bleekovs. Smythe. And in that period of play, the first part of play in the second half. Oh, what a shot by Smythe. The first part of play in the second half is where Australia lost their grip. Now the Americans, as a wrestle for possession, it will be a jump between Peter Walsh and Ernest Walsley. 2 tall men, so this will be interesting.
Yes.
Walsley 6'11".
7'1".
And Walsh 7'1", is it?
7'1", yes. They call him Grasshopper for sure.
Well, what's the Grasshopper? In against Walsley. Up they go. It's knocked away to Smythe for Australia. Bleekovs coming down. Trails the play. It's over to Bleekovs. He puts the shot in and scores.
Yes, nice pass.
United States 82, Australia 75. 4 minutes of the match remaining. 7 points the difference. There's still time for the Australians if they can keep the scoring opportunities for the Americans down. Kiffin with it now, and he scores. 84-75. Bleekovs for Australia. It's been non-stop action in the second half as the Americans came from behind. It's over now with Michael Jackson. 86-75. Now Bleekovs for Australia. This is the second international test. Australia versus USA. Under the bucket for the Australians was 34. Passes to Michael Jackson. Then it's across with Walmsley. Again it's with Marvin Delph. Walmsley again. Delph from the side. Takes the shot. Puts it through. United States 88. Australia 77. 11 points the difference. 3 minutes on the clock. Blickovs tries to gather control. The Americans on the bench come alive. It's with Smythe for Australia. Back it goes with Gray. Now it's with Forbes. Over to Blickovs for Australia. Blickovs puts it up, and he's blocked away magnificently by Irvin Kiffin of the USA. It looks like he was fouled in that move.
Yes, he popped the foul.
And for Australia, Larry Singstock is about to come back on. 5 fouls against Stephen Gray.
No, it's against number 15 for the American team.
Irvin Kiffin. Irvin Kiffin is off. 5 fouls. Fouled off in the second test from Beaton Park. He'd be happy. United States 88, Australia 77. And it's Andrus Blickovs of Australia at the line. 2 minutes 44 on the clock. And Australia certainly not disgraced in this international. They did more than hold their own in the first half. And the series against the Americans will do the Australians a world of good for that World Cup in Manila.
Yes. Actually, the Win TV viewers are very fortunate in seeing this game on television tonight. It's the opening game of the World Championships in Manila next Saturday week. That will go to quite a number of spectators, something like about 25, 30,000 spectators, plus about 1 million or 2 viewers.
It's America now. These two teams are certainly getting to know one another. Hall. And
very well checked
rebound to Singstock for Australia. It's over now to Smythe. Back it is with Blickovs of Australia, now with Singstock. Singstock takes the shot. The rebound's away to Hall for USA. Over to Michael Jackson, now with Hoffman. Hoffman with Smythe trailing him, gets his pass back to Jackson. Jackson offloads it to Walmsley. Walmsley puts it up and scores. United States 90, Australia 78. Blickovs for Australia, just over a minute and a half on the clock. Blickovs slips it into Singstock. A foul called.
Jackson, number 12.
Gets the Americans. And Jackson, yes, 5 fouls on number 12 for the United States, Michael Jackson. Welcome back to the bench by his coach. Pretty torrid lineup they are. As John mentioned to me before the match, they're a physical side. That they certainly are. Singstock at the line.
Australia will benefit greatly by this series of games against the Americans. They'll certainly be a better team for it at the end of it.
That's a successful shot for Singstock. 90 to 80. Brad Hoffman for USA. Hall. Hoffman. Over with Delph. Back to Hoffman. Hall. Hall puts it up and puts it through.
Played very well, Hall. He's obviously their best player. Very good rebounder, very physical.
Smythe for Australia. Back to Blickovs. Now it's with Forbes. Shot taken by Blickovs from the corner is in and out, but knocked in by Walsh. United States 92, Australia 82. Brad Hoffman for USA, 59 seconds on the clock. It is now certainly the American second test as the shot is taken by Walmsley and he puts it neatly through to move the Americans under 94. Blickovs for Australia brings it back down court. It's been a very fast and furious second half. It's with Smythe of Australia. Under the bucket goes Blickovs, who backhands it through. Good stuff by the Australians. United States 94, Australia 84. Hoffman for the USA gets it off to Parker. Eugene Parker under the bucket. for a good shot by Marvin Delph. 20 seconds on the clock, in for the Australians, but knocked away. Stolen there by Delph, who takes the long shot and adds salt into the wound by putting it through. 98-84, 10 seconds on the clock. The Americans will be robbed of their century. It's Australia in possession. Bleakovs with it. Bleakovs takes the shot. It's away and taken there by Delph. Foul call.
It's the game.
And it's the game. Australia defeated in the second test by the United States. The United States of America, 94, defeated Australia, 84. 98-84, the final score. And that's it for the second test, Australia versus USA. A very important night in the history of sport and basketball in the Illawarra area. From Beaton Park Basketball Stadium, good evening, everyone.